Hello everyone, and welcome to this project where we are going to build a resume and cover letter builder application using React, Firebase, and Gemini AI. React is for the front end and Firebase is for authentication, and Gemini AI is for the generation of the resume and the cover letter. Before we get into code, let's look at the live demo for this project. And one cool thing is that we are going to design or build this project without us writing any single line of code. We are going to use AI for this. So let's look at the live demo. Before getting started, unless you have an account, by registering or by logging in, and we have two main authentication methods, and that is by using email or password, or you can register using your Google account. I'm going to use Google account here, and I'm going to log in using this account. And after logging in, I have been redirected to my dashboard. It says that welcome back. And then this is my email, and then a link to create both the resume and then the cover letter. If I click on the resume, this is a page for generating the resume, likewise the cover letter. Let's begin with the resume. In here, we have two main styles, either by using modern or minimal. Let's use a modern one, and we're going to provide the following to the AI to be able to generate for us. So let's begin with the personal info. For the full name, I'm going to use Emmanuel, and then my email as that, phone number, location as that, and then save. As you can see, it has been added with a preview, as you can see here. The next step is the experience. I'm going to provide as senior software developer. Then the company, I'm going to use Masintech. Duration, let me say November 2020. And then achievement, increased productivity. Or I can even use AI to generate the professional description. And let me click on that and then save this section. And AI is going to generate the description for me based on this provided data. And as you can see here that it has been provided with well-formatted response. And I can include one more experience, for example, front-end developer. And for the company, I'm going to use Novotech. And then duration, January 2024. And then use the AI and save. And as you can see here also that it has been added, which is this one. And you can include unlimited working experience. The next part is going to be the education. I'm going to call this one as BSc. And for the school, I'm going to use KNUST. And for the year, I'm going to use an GPA of 3.9. And then save section. Let's check it out. And it has been added here. I can include one more education, and then GPA for this as 3.95, and then save. And it has been added. Let's move on to the skills. For the skills, I'm going to use main stack and JavaScript, React Native, Git, and for the role as full stack, focus on web development, and use the AI to generate the relevant skills and then save. And it has given me the skills. And lastly, about the project, I'm gonna call this one as e-commerce. E-commerce, the AI will know the right description. I'm going to use main stack and then use AI and then save. And it has been provided. You can include unlimited project. And one cool thing is that I can now export this one as PDF. As you can see, it was exporting. And then let me preview that. And as you can see, the PDF format. And the next part is going to be the resume. So let's get back to dashboard. It's supposed to be the cover letter instead. And then I'm going to provide these details. And then for the job description, I'm going to use the following: the company, address, and then the industry, the skills, entry level, senior, achievement, let me say productivity. The AI will know what to provide. And then generate cover letter. And here we go. We have well formatted cover letter based on these details. And also I can go ahead and export as PDF, and let's have a look. All right, and here we go. In case you found this project interesting and you want more projects like this, then do me a favor by subscribing, comment, and share. The final source code will be provided. You can use it as your personal project or you can modify it. With this one being said, let's get into code. We are going to build a resume and cover letter builder application using React and Firebase. We are going to use AI to build this project without us writing any single line of code. And we are going to use what is called Windsurf Coding Editor. In case you are not familiar with Windsurf, Windsurf is an AI-powered IDE that helps with the developers to write code and streamline workflows. Let's look at the capabilities of Windsurf Editor. And Windsurf Editor is from Codium, the same company that built the Codium extensions Forge and Live. We are going to use the editor, and they have an extension for VS Code, and these are the capabilities when using the Windsurf Editor. One is autocomplete, chat, command, and super complete. And this is what we are going to use. If you compare Codium AI versus Copilot, as you can see, Codium against Copilot. So this is what we are going to use. In this particular project, I will show you my pro tips when it comes to using AI to build projects. By the end of this project, you can use AI to build your dream project. So let's get right into it. Before using AI to build any project, we call something PRD, and that is Product Requirements Document. You have to document your project by providing the project overview, the features of the project, and then the UI for the project, the packages being used. And I have already prepared my PRD. So let's begin with the project overview. And it says that the resume and cover letter builder simplifies the job application process by providing intuitive tools to create, customize, and export professional documents designed for job seekers across various industries. The platform combines the power of Gemini AI for content generation, Firebase for secure storage and authentication, and stunning React.js interface enhanced with Tailwind CSS and animations. And these are the goals. I'll provide you the link to this project. And I have the target audience, and these are the features. The first one is user authentication, and that is registration and then logging in, the resume builder, the cover letter builder, export option, data storage, and we have advanced features that we can incorporate at the end of this project. And for the UI, we are going to use what is called glassmorphism for sleek, transparent visuals, responsive design, and framework motion. And these are the packages. We're going to use React by using Vite, Tailwind CSS, React icons, and framework motion. And for backend, we are going to use Firebase Authentication and Firebase Firestore for database and Axios. We're not going to use hosting here, but you can use it. And AI integration, we are going to use Gemini AI API. So this is my PRD for this project. And I'll show you how I'm going to tackle this project. The first step is that we need to download the Windsurf editor by clicking on download, or before that, let's look at the pricing, which is very important. They have free plan, which is this. This means that we can try out this editor for free. So make sure to download for your operating system. But for me, I have it already, and this is my Codium AI. I'm going to log in into my account. Alright, I have logged in successfully, and this editor has a feature which is called Cascade, and that is kick off a new project or make changes across your entire code base. And they have what is called write and then chat. For write, it can create folders and files and also modify the entire code base. And this editor is using Claude, and that is Sonnet 3.5. And they have what is called mentions. If I type shift and add, I can make use of files or directories. So this is what we are going to use. Now that we have the Windsurf editor, it is time to get into coding. I'm going to show you my AI coding workflow when it comes to building project. And these are my steps. I use a method called refined method, and that is scope-driven incremental AI project development. I came up with this method because it has helped me to build large projects with less stress. So under this method, the first step is called define the scope, and that is set foundation. This is what we call PRD, and that is product requirement document. This means that understand the problem, and that is the scope of your project, which means you are going to articulate the issue or the opportunities that your project addresses. And then you have to set up your objectives, and that is the main purpose for this project. So in here, these are the purpose for this project or the overview as resume and cover letter builder. And this is the project overview. The next method is that we call something incremental development framework. I have seen many developers feeding the AI with bunch of information at a go. If you do that, you are overwhelming the model. In that case, the model will not give you the better result. To use these models effectively, I use what is called incremental development framework. What do I mean? Let's get into the features for this project. One is authentication, resume builder, cover letter, export options, and data storage. In this case, if you provide all the features to the AI, even though it can generate the code for you, but it will not be efficient. Instead of providing the entire features, we are going to develop the application feature by feature. This is what we call incremental development framework. And apart from that, we call something continuous feedback loop. What do I mean? Let's say that we are done with the authentication, but we can modify it or enhance it. This is where continuous feedback comes in. At this point, you got the main logic. Then you can build upon from the previous one. And lastly, we have final iteration and deployment. And that is incorporate feedback from all phases for the final iteration, and then deploy the project in production environment and monitor its performance. And we are going to use Vite to generate our application, and Tailwind CSS for the UI, and Firebase for authentication and database storage. Now that we know the tools that we are going to use, let's get into code. And this is how I prefer when using AI tools. I prepare the foundation first by installing the packages that I need for this project. So in here, I'm going to have a folder called resume cover letter builder. And I'm going to open this using my Windsurf editor, which is this one. Up here, and then click on the terminal and then new terminal. Let me decrease this window like that. And then back to Vite, click on get started. And then copy the snippet back here, paste, and then hit enter. For the name of the project, I'm going to use the name of the folder. Therefore, I'm going to use dot or period and hit enter. we are going to use React and then JavaScript. Next step is that let's use npm I to install all the packages. Alright, it is done. So let's also install Tailwind CSS. Click on Get Started, Framework Guides, Vite. We are done with the first step. Let's move on to the second step. Click on this and then back to the terminal, paste and enter. And the next step is copy this one and let's wait while Tailwind CSS is being installing. Alright, it is done and we have tailwind.config.js and I'm going to replace with this, and let's look at the next step. Copy this code and let's find the index.css and replace with this. And lastly, I'm going to copy this code for the app.jsx and then let me run the application by using npm run dev and open that. And this is a preview. I'm going to change the color to something like text-blue and then let's see, and indeed it has been changed. This means that the configuration is complete. The next step is let's install React icons as npm I react-icons and hit enter. Alright, so we have the foundation. It is time for us to use the AI to build the entire project. So first step is that we need to provide the scope of this project to the AI. This is where our PRD comes in, which is this one. I'm going to provide the overview. So I'm going to copy this and then back here, make sure to click on the right and I'm going to say that act as an experienced full stack developer with over 5 years experience and assist me to build this project, and make sure to click on the right. And then to move on to the next line, press shift and enter. And then I'm going to use code and then paste it as that. I'm going to say note, I have already installed React.js, React icons, and Tailwind CSS. Use JavaScript but not TypeScript. First, implement these features and then back to my PRD, I'm going to provide these features, and that is authentication, and paste, and then I'm going to hit enter. And as you can see, it is analyzing my project folder and it says that let's install the necessary dependencies, Firebase, React Firebase hook, and then do you want to run this command? Accept, and it is running the command. And in case you are not familiar with any of these packages, we can ask the AI to explain. It has finished installing the packages and now it is creating the firebase.js file and then offcontext.js and then the login in component, then the sign up component. Alright, it is done. That is perfect. Click on accept all. And let's look at the folder structure. Close everything from here. And in the SRC, we have the component and then the off folder that has the login in, sign up. In the config, we have the Firebase configuration, then the context as that. Alright, so let's run this project and npm run dev. Let me reload and I have the application running. So we are going to provide the right details for the Firebase configuration. So let's get back to the browser and then navigate into firebase.google.com and make sure to sign up or log in using your Google account. I have already logged in, therefore I'm going to click on the Go to Console. I have already created a project called Missing AI SEO Keyword. I'm going to have a new project. I'm going to call this one as Resume Cover Letter Builder and continue. Disable the analytics and create the project. And then continue and select the web. Let's provide a name as Resume Cover Letter. This name is going to be used internally, and then register app. And this is all what we need, and that is Firebase configuration. Copy that, and then I'm going to replace with this one, and that is it. So let's get back to the app. In the app, it is not mounting anything, so we are going to ask the AI to implement navigation by using React Router DOM. To open the chart, press Command L or Control L and then select the right. I'm going to say that implement navigation using React Router DOM. As you can see, we are done with the two methods, and that is defining the scope and also incremental development by saying that it should focus on the authentication. Now we are moving on to the third step, and that is continuous feedback and loop. In here, we are still building upon the previous implementation, and that is the authentication. So select right and then hit enter. Alright, it is asking to install React Router DOM, and let's accept. And it knows that it should create what is called protected route and then the navigation. Alright, it is done. So let's go ahead and accept all. And let's confirm the terminal. We have an error, don't worry. Let me shut down, clear it, and then run the application again. And let me reload. And we have this error. I'm going to copy the error and then back to my WinSave here. I'm going to say, I got this error. Please fix it. And then quote and then hit enter. Alright, it is asking to rename a certain file, and let me accept. As you can see, if you are developing the project incrementally, you can easily fix a bug before continue. Alright, accept and then reload. Let me check the terminal. We have syntax error. The Firebase does not provide, so I'm going to copy this error. And then back here, I'm going to say fix this error. Or let me shut down and try again by rerun. And then I got the same error, so let's provide the error to be fixed. Alright, accept. And now it worked. So if I click on the login, I have it. Likewise, sign up. So don't worry about the UI, we can refine it. So I'm going to register by using what is called thomas@gmail.com, and then the password is supposed to be the register instead, this one. And we got Firebase error, and that is configuration not found. The issue here is that we need to enable the authentication method in our project. So click on Go to Console and then click on the authentication. Firebase provides different kinds of authentication, so we need to enable what we want. So click on the Get Started, and under the sign in methods, they have these authentication methods. For example, email and password, Google sign in, Facebook. I'm going to use email and password and then enable and save. Let's add one more provider, and that is Google sign in, and make sure to select your Gmail account and then save. All right, it is done. So I'm going to register again. And now it worked. It says that welcome Thomas, and I can log out. If I check my dashboard for the database, so click on the users, and this is the user that has just registered. So we are done with the authentication. The next step is to focus on the resume generator. Now that we are done with the authentication, let's move on to the next feature, and that is a resume builder. So I'm going to copy this, the resume builder, and after that we move on to the cover letter. I'm going to copy that and back to Windsurf. I'm going to say that the next feature is, and then shift enter, quote, and then paste. And shift enter, I'm going to say that use Gemini AI model. And if you look at the PRD below here, we have what is called AI integration. So I can even copy this and then shift enter, I can paste that. And before generating, I'm going to say that note, maintain the previous logics and folder structure, and then hit enter. It is asking to install the Google Generative AI, React to print, and then headless UI and React hook form, and then let me accept. Even though we didn't provide these packages, but since we are developing it incrementally, the AI can suggest other packages that we may need for the project. So the next step is that it is creating what is called Gemini.js. And while it is creating, let's head over to Gemini by searching for Gemini AI API and click on this. All what we need is the Gemini API key. And once again, make sure to sign up or log in using your Google account and then explore models in Google AI Studio. And then click on API documentation, and it says that get Gemini API key. All right, I'm going to create one for this. I'm going to select a project and then create and then copy. So let me accept. Perfect. And it has added this .env file where we can provide our Gemini API key. Let's see the .env file, and let me pass in here as a key. Perfect. So let's look at the folder structure for this one. Let me collapse everything. In the SRC, we have the component. The auth is for logging in, and then the sign up, the dashboard for the user, and then the layout is for the navigation, the resume, which is a resume builder. It has provided this template as modern and then minimal. And this is a function for the resume builder that takes in with the following states. That is, by default, it is using the modern template and then personal info, summary, experience, education, and sections. In case I don't understand this code, I'm going to select that. And then I have the option called chat or edit. So if I say chat, I can now communicate or ask questions about this particular code. Alright, so now that we have the code and then with the API key, let's head over to the app.js. This is where we are mounting it. And then in the dashboard, let me see in case we have the generating. Alright, so let's head over to the dashboard. I believe that is where we can see. Let me sign in with my Google account and then continue. Alright, so here for the personal info, I'm going to provide Emmanuel, and then the email as ima@gmail.com. And then for the phone, I'm going to use any number, the location, Kumasi, and then save section, it has been saved. For the experience, education, skills, it has only done the personal information and then the work experience, education, no, skills, no, and then the project. What we can do here is that we can ask the AI to finish up with the other sections, and let me click on the export. It is not working. So we are done with the personal information and then the work experience. And at the end, we want the AI to generate the resume for us. So I'm going to copy everything from here, and I'm going to say that, let me open the cascade, and that is a right. I'm going to say that also implement the logics for the following, and at the end pass the provided info to the Gemini AI for perfect generation, and then paste and then hit enter. Alright, it is done. Let me accept and let me preview. Under the work experience, yeah, we have it, education, we have it, skills, and then the project. Then under the personal information, I'm gonna provide my name, then email, then phone number, location, and then save. And I got the preview. Then under the working experience, for the position, I'm gonna say senior developer, and then the company, Masintech Coding School. Duration is January 2024. Responsibility as backend developer, then comma, mobile app developer. Then in here we have the option to use AI to generate professional description, and then save. It is generating, and let's wait. And we got the working experience, which is nice. And then the education, I'm gonna say BSc in computer science, for example, and then the school as KNUST, year 2020 to 2024, and then GPA of 3.9, and then save. I have it. I can include more, for example, MS, let me say software engineering, then the school as this, and the year is, and let me say 2024 up to, let me say present, and then GPA of, let me say 3, and save, and it has been added. Next is the skills. I'm gonna say, and you can include more skills, and then the role as full stack developer, focus area on web development, and use AI to generate relevant skills, and then save. And these are the skills. The next step is going to be the project. For the project name, I'm going to say Learn e-commerce, and description, main stack, and use AI to generate. Awesome, and I can include more project, and this is my professional resume. The next feature is going to be, let's look at the PRD, and that is the cover letter. I'm going to copy this. We are done with the export. So back to the right here, I'm going to say that implement this feature, but maintain the previous logics, and then paste that. Let me accept, and back to the project. We have an error. Let's check the console. I'm going to copy this, and then I'm going to say that fix this error and enter. All right, accept, reload. Well, let me rerun the server. And now we have it, resume builder, and then the cover letter builder. I'm going to choose the modern one, and then the name as Emmanuel, ema@gmail.com, the company, recipient, and then industry, let me say tech, full stack developer, entry level, let me say senior, let me say progress, and then generate. And we have where formatted cover letter, and I can export. So let me check my cover letter, which is this one, and I have it as that. So the main logics are done. What has left is refining and by improving the UI. So if I go to the home page here, and unless I log out, and if I go to home page, unless I log in, we don't have a home page for this project. So we are going to ask the AI to design beautiful home page. What has left is like modification and then enhancing the UI. We are going to focus on the UI. So first step is that let's have a landing page. So back to our PRD, which is this one. We are now on the UI UX design. I'm going to copy this one, and then back to windsurf. I'm going to say that create a beautiful landing page with project features, call to action, and any necessary information that depicts real-world resume and cover letter builder, include React icons, and follow these formats, and shift enter, and then paste, and then let me hit enter. It needs to install Framework Motion and React icons. We have already installed React icons, so let's continue. It is creating the landing page. Let me accept, and then when I visit home page, we have perfect layout for the home page. And let me see, create perfect resume. I think this one is cool. And then log in, sign up. For the features section, we can ask the AI to improve upon it. So I'm going to select this section, and I'm going to say that change the layout and design for, and then shift enter, code, and then paste and hit enter. And then accept. Alright, this one looks good. As you can see for this, it looks nice. And let's look at the responsiveness of it. What about if we maintain this design throughout the project? So I'm going to say that use the same design for the section for the rest of the landing page and hit enter. Let me accept, and it looks nice. Let's also implement the same design for the login in and then the registration. So I'm going to say that redesign the login and sign up to match the landing page and make it catchy and vibrant. and we can reference the files as sign in, and that is log in and sign up, and hit enter. Let me accept, and let's have a look. If I click on sign in, I have the form, likewise the sign up. We are going to have a dashboard that is going to contain links to both the creation of the resume and then the cover letter. So back to Windsurf here, I'm going to say that implement a dashboard that will contain the following, then shift enter. 1, link to creation of resume, and 2, link to creation of cover letter, and 3, user profile card. And make it very intuitive and vibrant. Use the same design system as the home page. Alright, accept, and let's look at the preview. I'm going to sign in into my account, and there we go. We have the profile card with the resume builder and then the cover letter. And as you can see, the cool effects are the background. Let's also redesign the resume component. So I'm going to say that use the same design system for, then I'm going to reference the component as resume builder. At this point, it knows the context of my design system. Therefore, I'm going to hit enter. Alright, accept. And let's try out. If I click on the resume, I have a beautiful layout similar to the cover letter, as similar to, then reference the file as cover letter and enter and accept. Let's have a look. If I go to dashboard and then cover letter, this one is also cool. Alright guys, here ends this project. As you can see, the power of AI. If you can use it effectively, you can build anything with it.